Hey my loves, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Guys, I did not plan to film today, but I was like, you know what, I did my makeup, so let me just sit down and let me talk to you guys. So much change is happening in my life and I feel like I don't know if I'm ready to do like a proper life update, but if you want to just know what I'm up to and I'm not on YouTube, please come over to Instagram. Which brings me to what we're going to be talking about today. So I asked some of you to send me any questions that you wanted my advice on, and the questions came in and they were very juicy. This is like one video that I've filmed in a while that I'm just going to be talking and just going off and just telling you what is coming straight up to my head. And if you guys do like this type of videos, do let me know and I will be very happy to do more of them. So without yapping too much, let's get right into this video. These questions are interesting. The first one is marrying your spec. How can you marry your spec? I believe is the question this person is asking me. Honestly, I try not to give relationship advice on the internet just because I will not be the reason why someone chooses to do something and then says it doesn't work for them. So the first caveat is do what you want to do. But in my own opinion, marrying your spec, like what is your spec? And if you're thinking about your spec, like is your spec based off trends or like intangible, unrealistic things, or is your spec realistic things? So if spec in the way that we're looking at it means like, oh, you want a man who is kind, you want someone who cares for you, you want someone who would always treat you with love and like operate in that way, then you look at those things, you look for them when you're talking to somebody. People can learn certain things, like I can learn how to stop saying a word that makes you feel a certain way, or I can learn how to stop giving certain like impressions or reacting to things in a certain way. But then things like kindness and ungenuine, undiluted care, people can learn that, but do you really want to wait until you get into marriage and you're hoping for this person to learn it? So make a list that makes sense of your spec and look out for it, and go on dates, talk to people, and does this person have what I want? And like if it's not what you want, like it's okay to work away from it. Like you just need to be committed to what you're looking for so that you can find it. So I hope that helps. The second question is side hustles in your 20s and how to be financially stable. Honestly, I want to be like, investing is a really good one. Like don't spend all your money that you make, and I know that sometimes it's going to be hard, especially with the Nigerian economy. You're making money and you feel like you need to spend all of it. Trust me, even if you save 10%, it will become something. I haven't made like a ton of money from investments yet because I invest in bits, but investing is a good way to like, you know, keep money. And then for side hustles, starting a business is always a good idea. So you can either do a service-based business or a product-based business depending on how your life works out. And honestly, you can make money doing the most mundane things. Like you can, when I was in uni, I just used to like launch a new thing every other time and just like try to make money from it. So you just need to look at your environment, look at the resources around you and think like, what can I sell or what can I do to make money? I would not say that I intended to earn money from content creation. I started it out of fun, and then like after uni, kind of then like now being a content creator is kind of my side hustle because I do have like another job. So you have to just like look at your situation and see what works out for you. Also like talk to people and learn how money works. Like learn as much as you can about pensions, learn about investing, learn how to save, because you do not want to enter a situation and not be able to get out of it because you don't have money. Like even the small change you get here and there, the gifts, make sure that you're thinking of your financial future all the time. I have a video about finances, so if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Okay, yes. Next question. Anxiety in a relationship, that's kind of weird. If you're with someone who is making you anxious, should you really be with that person? Should you? I don't know. Ask yourself that question. But then if you're struggling with anxiety, not that you're with a partner who makes you anxious, then you need to like communicate to your partner, say, oh hi, this is what I'm going through, and then you guys will come up with ways to make sure that you're able to work through that situation. But if your partner is the person that's making you anxious, I'm sorry, pack your bags and walk away. Okay, just walk away. For your mental health, for your sanity, just walk away. What do you think of dating your BFF side nigga? The story is quite complicated though. So she didn't give you the whole tea, but why do you want to do something that's that messy? Like, why do you want somebody's side piece? Like, why? I mean, like, if you've found love and all that stuff, I mean, maybe there's a conversation to be had, but have you spoken to your best friend about it? Like, how does she feel? And if this person is truly your best friend and you honestly care about the relationship, going in this direction might not be the best. So you have to be aware that your relationship with your best friend might crash because of this. She might say it's okay, but I don't know, going after people that your close friends have had things with and you're aware of what their situation was when they had something together is never the best idea. I'm not speaking from experience, but I've seen the mess that it brings. So please just really think that this is what you want for yourself, and like, is he really worth it? Is he? The next one, I'm finding it so difficult to get myself together and live the life that I want for myself. Any advice? Whew. This is like a tough one, and I kind of feel like that's what hopefully my content and other intentional lifestyle YouTubers encourage you to do. But you have to want it bad enough, and you have to just like start doing things to work towards it. I think for me, one thing that always helped me was having a picture in my head, like, Valerie, this is the life that I want. And I will always tell myself that this is the life that I want. And I will always ask myself, like, did I live this day to take me in that direction? Like, have I done something to take me in that direction, you know? So there's no set in stone step, because even till now I don't feel like I really know exactly what I'm doing with my life. I'm figuring it out as it goes. Not to go all spiritual on you, but then the truth is that God is truly my center. But have you asked God what you should be doing to get the life that He wants planned for you? Because what you want for yourself might be different from what God wants for you. So it's time to take some time out and have a chat with Master Jesus, or Daddy Jesus, anyone you like to call him, and that should help. I also say, like, consume a lot of like mindset shifting content. I feel like there were phases in my life where I consumed a lot of that, and I did not know that God was trying to prepare me for some situations that I was going to walk into. So I really hope, you know, this helps. I'm trying to keep this video short, sweet, chatty, straight to the point, so it's not going on for too long. But I really just do hope that you learn something that helps you out of your, should we call this dilemma? Situation. Okay. The next question says, influencers that feel the need to give unsolicited opinions about females and what we should not do. I'm just going to take a deep breath as I give this feedback. If you're following an influencer that is saying something that you do not agree with, then trust me, that person's content, you are not their target audience. And if you're not their target audience, you should walk away. You should walk away. I think people come online not to tell you you must do this and do that, but to say, hey, this is what worked for me, and you know, if this is what you're trying to achieve, this is what I think helps. So maybe you should unfollow that influencer. I don't think that your spirit resonates with her content. You should probably unfollow her. The next one says, I just need you to give me motivational words. I am losing focus. I I think that everybody loses focus once in a while. I don't even know if I've been focused recently. I just want to like rest. But if I was to give one line of motivation, I would say that you'll be so shocked the amount of things you can achieve if you believe that you can achieve it, and you're not focusing on what's in front of you right now, but you're focusing on what you're working towards. Like, you will be so surprised. You would wake up one day and you'd be like, oh my god, I remember when I dreamed to have this and I have it now. So baby steps, keep working, keep praying, and keep doing what you have to do towards the future that you want to. It might not always feel like a good day, it might not always feel like you're going in the right direction, but you see, those super tiny steps that you take, they make all the difference. They truly make all the difference. I hope this was motivational enough for you. Next question says, okay, this one's about a man. Okay, this one says, so there is this guy who is into me, but when we got talking, the energy just went down. Ooh, I don't know. This is one rule that I live by. If a man wants you, you'll know, and if he doesn't want you, you'll have all these questions. But however, it's also good to understand that people are in seasons. Like, when you were talking to him before, was he in a different season that he's in now? Is he in a season where he needs to put more attention towards something, and you know, he's giving attention but it just doesn't feel the same way it felt before? And just pay attention to the signs. Like, pay attention to what he's doing. Like, is this person showing you that they care about you and your well-being is their priority? I think that that's the most interesting thing in relationships, and sometimes people tend to forget that, you know, like, that's the most important thing. If somebody shows you that you are priority, then that person, you know, obviously cares about you. So watch out for the signs, my love. Watch out for the signs. The next question: advice on how to flirt with my crush. I don't really know if I want to give flirting advice on the internet, but I believe that there are ways to make a man know that you're interested in him without saying or doing anything that would be extremely embarrassing to you as a person, because it's good to form hard guys sometimes. Tips on that? Geez, I don't know. Search how to flirt on TikTok. You'll be surprised what you find. That's all I'm going to say. That's my advice for you. The next one is, I'm about to go into tech, but I'm kind of scared on the unknown. I have a video on how to get into tech, so if you haven't seen that, first off, you should probably watch that video. And then secondly, scared of the unknown. I would just say, isn't it better to start and then see what awaits you when you get there than to not start? So if you start today, at the end of this year, you'll be 6 months into trying to get into a new discipline, right? And if you choose not to start because you're scared, at the end of this year, you'll still be someone who would want to be in tech but is still not in tech. So who would you rather be? I hope that helps in making a decision. But you just have to start. There's something for everyone. Like I always say, you don't have to write code. I work in tech. I do not write code. Maybe sometimes I have to understand code, but I don't write code. And you can figure it out. You can learn on the job. You just need to figure out what your strengths are and make sure that you're applying for roles that would highlight those strengths. So I hope that helps. The next question is, I am finding it so difficult to find my purpose in life, what my talent is. This has caused me a lot of anxiety. You need to have a chat with Jesus. You need to take some time out. You need to pray. You need to say, Lord, please show me what you would have me do. What is your purpose for my life? Some of us are lucky and we just figure it out and we just stumble onto it. And some of us are not as lucky and we need to ask and, you know, do things to figure it out. But trust me, if you're constantly asking and you're consciously asking, when you eventually stumble on what it is, you would definitely know. Like, you would know in your heart that this is what you should be doing with your life. So go to the mountain and pray, because that is what I would do. The next one is, I'm taking a project management course. Can you share any tip about your experience? Have I really done project management courses? Product management and project management is not the same thing, but if you're taking an online course, be committed to the course, do the assignments that they're giving to you, and try to make sure that you're finding real life scenarios to apply the knowledge that you've acquired from those courses in real life. Because if you're reading all these things and not doing anything, you're wasting your time, sis. This person says she sent a DM because it's quite long. Okay, so let's read. Hi Valerie, the text box can take so much. My major challenge is growing my small business. I'd like to use influencer marketing, but everyone seems quite unaffordable for my small business. I'm also not sure of how much they convert. Can you please shed some light on that? I would also appreciate if you could suggest some tips and tricks to grow and reach potential customers. Thank you. Ooh, okay, taking me back to my marketing days. Okay, so influencers and being out of your budget. I think a lot of people these days have forgotten the place that good old gifting plays in influencer marketing. If you believe and you trust your product so much, you can send it to an influencer, and if she loves it, she would share. So that's one way to partner with, you know, bigger influencers who you feel like are not within your budget. And you also need to make sure that when you're reaching out to these influencers, they're actually influencers that align with what your business is about. Also, please follow Remy's e-commerce collective. She shares so many tips on how to acquire users, how to grow your business online for small business with little budget. So I really hope this helps. This says, how to move on from a 3-year relationship heartbreak. Cause of heartbreak, inability to commit further by my boyfriend. Ooh, this one is kind of a, you know, I'm guessing by commit further you mean marriage. I think that when we're getting into a relationship, it's important to have expectations, and I understand that sometimes we do hope that the person that we're getting into a relationship with would change their stance on certain issues. So for example, let's say I started dating Mr. B today, and I tell Mr. B that my expectation, like what I would like, is this relationship to lead to marriage. Like, it's okay to share your standards and set your standards. Like, it doesn't make you less than. You can say it's I would like if this relationship led to marriage. I'm not actively seeking or pursuing marriage, but I would not get into a relationship just to see how it goes. That's a way that you've communicated your standards quite alright. Now, if you communicate your standards in that way, and the man who is on the receiving end, Mr. B in this case, his responses are not really quite the same. He's like, well, okay, that's nice, that's good, but let's see how it goes. That already shows you that, you know, that's not really where he's at. And truth be told, it could be different in 3 years. But the truth about men is that 3 things men always think about, like their income, what they do, and, like, you know, how other people see them. So if those 3 things are not really figured out or certain in a man's life, then you see that extra commitment of marriage that you're requiring, the man is not ready for that. And if you do push him further and he eventually does give you that wedding, you will most likely end up having an unhappy marriage. So I mean, if you walked away because he's unable to commit, like, you know, that's fine. You've communicated your standards. He might, I don't know, the fact that he didn't care that you walked away because of that, like, he's not really doing anything, he's not trying to convince you. You shouldn't really be trying to marry this man. So I hope that that really encourages you to, that it's okay that this has ended, and you would honestly find the person for you. Like, I feel like the person for you would always come at the right time. and like people might be worried. You can meet someone next month and this person wants to marry you in 3 months. So I know that it's hard right now, but just focus on your heart, focus on your healing, so that when you eventually meet that person who is meant for you, like, you'll be ready, you wouldn't be broken, and you'll be able to offer him the love that he would require from you. Tips and tricks on how to get over heartbreak: spend time with people that really love you, like people that love you a lot, your friends that love you, your family members that love you, so that you're not focusing on, you know, this other person not really being what you want. As always, I hope that helps. The next one says, so I got a job as a front desk officer at a high-profile company. What I don't get is why they send me on menial errands. Honestly, it looks like this is rearranged. That's not complete then, and I was about complaining about it because I felt it's very unacceptable, but I just resumed, and I'm thinking of quitting because I can't allow myself to be disrespected like that. When I say errands, I mean things like sending me to get things and do things, even markets. So I need to know if the company is right, or am I not losing my mind? Thank you. I know that sometimes the job situation in Nigeria makes us really forget that the same way employers audit us, as employees, we should audit the companies that we work in. I'd say the first step is to have a conversation with your manager, if somebody does manage you, or anybody who is high up in the company that you feel like you can talk to. The second thing I'll recommend is to try to see other ways you can contribute to the organization, to show them that you're much more than how they're utilizing you in that time. And if you do this for, you know, set time and you're not seeing any results, your career, you're the one who's in charge of it, so it is super okay. I promise you, it is very okay to pack your bags and walk away, even if it's a high-profile company. Sometimes high-profile companies don't pay as much as companies that are not high-profile. Sometimes high-profile companies ruin people's careers. So I think we need to get to a place where, when it comes to work, we're thinking about the work that we're doing, the fulfillment that we're getting from the work, as opposed to the profile of the company. So I really hope this helps you, and I'm really sorry that they're refusing to see your value, but I would recommend you try to show them what your value is. How to be strict with budgeting. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and a lot of times I do exceed my budget. But I would say have a plan and just try to go by it. Probably also have accountability partners. I know that whenever I'm trying to do something, having someone who I need to be accountable to always does help me. Number 3, probably try to get a financial advisor that you can work towards your goals with. And number 4, limit your access to money. So keep your budget and take away every other extra source, so that you're forced to stick to that budget. But make sure that your budget is realistic, based off like your needs and your wants and all that stuff, because you don't want to say your budget is 20k and then you ideally spend 100k in a month. That way you keep on taking out of your spending. So I hope that helps. Wow, this is a lot of questions, guys. I currently use an iPhone XR for my YouTube videos. Do you think it's wise to use all my money to get a vlogging camera, or wait till it's a bit more convenient? I always tell people, especially when they're just starting out YouTube, let me see, I started content in, I think, 2015, 2016, I think. I did not have my first camera until 2018 fall. So I created content for 3 years before I eventually, and I wasn't even making money at the time, but I was in a place where I could afford to bring out $500 to purchase a camera and it was a big spend, but I did not die after that spend. So I think that it's always good to work with what you have until you're in a good place to afford the extra things. Sometimes doing that extra investment is great, but in a situation where I wouldn't do it, this is the advice, I wouldn't do what you're asking me to do. So let me not even try to make a case for how it might work. I just wouldn't do it. I would wait a lot more until I could afford that. And except maybe I find a really good deal that is not as expensive as, like, if you know, maybe the camera I want is $1,000 and I find a good deal, someone who's setting up their camera for $300 that I can do, then yeah, maybe I can do that. But honestly, I would wait until it's a bit more convenient if it was me. So yes, this is what Valerie would do. I have anger issues, or I react to things much and it has been messing me up. I think that there's a lot of internal work that needs to be done. There was a time in my life that I was angry, so I honestly can understand being angry. You need to do a lot of internal work. You need to, like, sit down with yourself and understand what are your triggers, what is making you react the way that you're reacting. And the next thing you also have to do, you need to pray about it. I did pray about mine. I prayed about it. I haven't really, like, gone through therapy fully, but I've had a few therapy sessions, and during one of my therapy sessions I realized that what I thought was anger wasn't really anger. Like, every uncomfortable feeling in my chest is not anger. Sometimes it's disappointment, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes it's there's just other emotions that you can feel, and sometimes we're not really aware of our emotions, that we tag everything as anger, but not everything is anger. So you need to understand, like, what is making, like, what are your triggers, and then you have to work towards eliminating those triggers or training yourself to react better when those triggers appear. So I hope that helps. I'm a Christian dating a Muslim. I don't know what to do. We have different ideologies. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what I will do and then give you, like, generic advice. So in my situation, I probably will not do that, and I would not do that because my faith is a little important to me, and I like it when my partner thinks about life in the same way that I think about it. People from different religions can get together and it'll be good, but if you're someone who takes your faith seriously, you'd see that you would always have clashes, because, like, you're looking at life through different lenses. So I don't know, you really have to ask yourself, like, what you want. Maybe having the same ideologies or the same views in life with your partner is not really on top of your list for you, and in that case, you know, you can just work towards finding a middle ground all the time. Just because I don't want to get this video to get too long, we have come to the end of this video. There are so many other questions that I did not get to respond to, so if you do like this type of videos, do leave a comment below and let me know, and I will actually make more videos like this. I think that I am enjoying sitting down and just, like, talking with you guys a lot more than, like, all the theatrics that is sometimes involved in filming. So until next time, always keep striving to be the best version of yourself. See you in my next video. Bye, loves.